What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Horror Roadside Show. Today, we are in New Boston, New Hampshire at the gravesite of Savilla Jones. Savilla Jones was a girl, 17-year-old girl whose life was almost like a creepy Romeo and Juliet, I would say. It's more tragic. It is more tragic. But, guys, we have a Patreon down below in the description. If you want to click on that and help support us, we can go to better and better places. 2024, we're going to rock the paranormal world, go to crazy places. All right, guys, we're going to get into the story of Savilla Jones. So thank you for joining us today. Let's do it. Trying to find the grave of Henry N right now, and Henry's grave is shaped kind of like this one. See how it has the point at the top, and it says Henry N, pretty much the same like that. So I'm just trying to find that one, and it said that he's buried in the same plot as her, same like cemetery, not same plot, same cemetery, and he's around here somewhere. So I'm gonna keep looking, see if I can find it. There's actually a lot of graves here. It goes up all the way up over that way, all the way up over the hill. But I think this primarily right here where I'm sitting right now was probably the original cemetery that was here, or at least the oldest part of the cemetery. As I'm walking around looking for Henry's grave, I'm noticing that all these little headstones that just say like a letter with a number. I don't know what that is. Let me know if you guys know what that is. Are they children? RH, MH, J. Is it an H or a 2? This one looks like an H. Maybe it's a 2 and it's just broken. It looks like an H. But I'm having trouble trying to find Henry's grave. I'm going to continue looking.
On January 13th, 1854, a 17-year-old Savilla Jones was walking to school with her younger brother named Plummer when she was stopped by a 23-year-old Henry Sargent. Savilla knew this young man, as they had been briefly dating before the courtship was ended by her mother after Henry had fell out of her favor. What Savilla didn't know was Henry had purchased 2 guns as well as his own grave to be dug. That morning, Henry shot Savilla 4 times with a self-cocked pistol before turning the gun on himself. Henry's own injury wasn't enough to immediately end his life. The local doctor refused to provide any treatment to Henry due to his own actions and was left there to die. Savilla's family posted the name of her killer and his crime, as well as an epitaph upon her gravestone.
Alright, guys, so we're just now walking over to Savilla's grave. So when we pulled in down this way and drove around, came up the hill, but you can also just pull in right here, I guess. And unfortunately, I'm trying to find Henry's grave because I know he's buried nearby. But I don't know where he is. So she's just right down here.
Plummer, her brother.
Is that Plummer?
Right here. The whole family, right here. So Plummer, she died.
Yeah, Savilla. There it is.
Daughter of George and Sarah Jones, murdered by Henry N. Sargent, January 13th, 1854. She was just under 18 years of age.
And it has a cool epitaph at the bottom.
Thus fall this lonely, blooming daughter by the revengeful hand of militians. Henry, when on her way to school he met her, had with his a 6 self-cocked pistol
And shot her.
and shot her. Sorry guys that the writing on there is kind of faded a bit, so I did the best I could.
Jenna can't read. Jenna can't read.
Um,
So the story is that Savilla Jones was walking to school, which actually it was schoolhouse number 3. There was multiple schoolhouses. They were single classroom houses. And she was going to schoolhouse number 3 with her little brother named Plummer, whose grave is actually right here. This is Plummer. He died in, what does it say, 1864?
May 13th. Yeah, that's weird. On the
Just
13th
10 years.
day. They both died on the 13th day. That's
13th day, 10 years apart.
That's a little
1854, 1864. I wonder why he passed away from him. Think about it. He was in school, and she was walking him to school. So how old was he? It doesn't say when he was born, right?
No, just the death date. It's so hard to read.
So Savilla and Plummer, her little brother, were walking to schoolhouse number 3, and they came across Henry Sargent. And Henry was in love with Savilla because he wrote in his diary that she gave him some kind of encouragement. So he took it as like, she likes him and she's the most beautiful, lovely woman. And he wanted to be with her. Well, there was a gentleman by the name of Bartlett who was also friends with Savilla. And Savilla and Bartlett were very close. And Henry didn't like that. So Henry, one morning, while they were walking to school, took a, was it 6-shooter?
Yeah.
A 6-shooter pistol.
Self-cocked pistol.
A 6 self-cocked pistol. He shot her, and I think he shot her 4 times. He shot her 4 times, and she passed away instantly. And then he turned it onto himself, and unfortunately he did not go instantly. And word is that the people who were around that heard the shot and saw it happen, they ran to go get a doctor. And the doctor was so upset with Henry that he told them, let him suffer. Pretty much let him suffer.
Oh well.
Oh well, yeah. So he did. He suffered for hours and then eventually met his demise. But, what a tragic story. He said that she was given bad advice by Bartlett's mother. And it's also said that Bartlett's mother is the one who wrote the epitaph on her grave.
Could have been, yeah.
Crazy story.
Just shows you people were psycho even back in the 1850s. Just very, very sad.
It was very sad. And you could see where it's like almost like Romeo and Juliet, only they were in love with each other, but Savilla didn't have the same feelings that Henry did toward her,
Yeah, she didn't reciprocate, and her life was taken way too soon.
Way too soon. 17 years old. And he was 23. Henry was 23. At such a young age. People, teenagers get, their emotions are so strong because they're changing. So I'm wondering if, just it got the best of him and he thought too irrational. Something like this is very unheard of in 1854. People had pistols for protection for hunting, probably for protection from people coming in and trying to steal, robbers and all that. So they had protection. But it was unheard of to turn the gun to other people, especially a young girl, and then he took the coward's way out and paid the ultimate price. I guess where all of this took place is now an Air Force base, so we can't go to where the schoolhouse was.
Right.
We can't go to, the town that was there. I guess it's just all an Air Force base now. But it was, this is the town. Just probably over the hills or something there. Could be down that way.
Gotta say, the scenery is beautiful.
The scenery?
Yeah.
It is. It's gorgeous over
I can
here.
only imagine what it looks like in the fall.
Yeah, I mean, you get somewhat of an idea. Look at all the crunchy leaves.
Yeah, there's so many. You know what's sad in all this is that he's buried near her. Supposedly in his journal that he kept, there was an entry that said pretty much that he was going to commit this crime and that he wanted her buried near him, next to him. And the fact that they're in the same area is pretty gross to me. That, you know, he shouldn't have had any of his wishes granted because of the crime that he committed and took a young child, barely 18 years old, her life.
Very old cemetery, too. You can just imagine around 1854 being in this area and, you know, people on horses coming by, going down the roads. Can you imagine this being all hillside? Probably only a few scattered graves. Probably wasn't even as many as there are now. Definitely wasn't as many as there are now. Alright guys, so we ended up coming back here. So what you're watching right now is the next day. The reason why is because when I first came here yesterday, I wanted to investigate, but I don't know, I had the feeling that it would be probably disrespectful, but the more I look over it, I kind of just want to ask her questions. I want to ask what she was thinking. Did she even have feelings for Henry? Or, you know, what does she have to say to Henry? What does she want to tell us? You know, I mean, she passed away in 1854. I mean, that's a long, long time ago. So I'm curious if we can get any words to come through. I brought my spirit box with me, as well as an EMF detector. I think I'm going to walk around here and see if I can communicate with her. Or even maybe Henry or her brother Plummer. Who knows? But right now I'm standing in front of their graves, which is right here. So there's Savilla, and that's her brother. And this must be her parents. Maybe dad and mom. Alright guys, so I'm breaking out the spirit talker right now. This is my custom built spirit talker radio. And if you're new to watching this, what this does is it's a normal radio, but the stations get cycled through rapidly. So you hear a lot of psh, 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 psh. And what that's doing is that's cycling through radio stations, and in between you get voices. So I'll show you right now how it works. So I'm going to turn it on. So what you're hearing right now is it cycle through. A lot of white noise, that's good. And you'll probably get some radio stations as well, but we're going to ask questions now and see if we get any words to come through. Hi, Savilla. Savilla, my name is Dale. Are you here to communicate with us? Is there anything you would like to say to me? My name is Dale. I came to visit you at your grave.
Wait.
Is there anybody else here? George or Plummer?
Bowling.
Dead. Savilla, did you suffer at all? I didn't. Maybe I think that's what it said. I didn't. Hi. Savilla, it says that you passed away in 1854. It says you passed away in 1854. The year is 2023. Is that hard to believe for you? Voice came through. Savilla, were you in love with Henry? Son? Skin? Help? Hi? Savilla, am I communicating with you? Yes. Can you say your name, Savilla? Savilla, can you say your own name? Voice came through. Henry, are you here right now? I'm hearing a male. Henry, if you're here right now, say hello. Back. Or fat. Could be fat. Henry, are you here? Henry Sargent. Something. There's no radio right now. You can hear this. I have it up to the microphone. Nothing. So if a voice comes through, I mean, that's pretty impressive. And like I said, it's rapidly sweeping through radio stations. So if you get a full sentence, that's multiple sweeps through radio stations to come up with a full sentence that makes sense in the same tonality, same vocal. Like, it's impressive.
Cool. Do a good. Oh. Good. Oh.
You heard that?
Good. Oh.
You heard that? Some kind of voice just came through. Sounded like it said, "Get out."
Yes.
Who was the man that shot you? It was him? It sounded like that. It's raining. It's starting to pour. Can you tell me what year it is?
Oh.
Behind you? It sounded like something said behind you. Not much is coming through. Some things did, but you know, some places are more active than others. You can't expect things to go down all the time.
All right, guys. So this wraps up day 2 of being here. I'm glad I came out and did an investigation. I'm glad that Gena and I, tried to communicate, because what if Savilla had something to say? I'm not going to know. You will know because editing will already be done right now. But hopefully we caught something that proves that she's still around. Maybe she'll have some messages for Henry. I still didn't find Henry's grave.
Yeah, like where is his grave?
I still haven't found his grave. I know he's buried nearby. This side of the cemetery is newer than this side.
Yeah.
So, guys, thank you for joining us today. Remember, smash that like button. Share these videos because they really help us grow. I mean, you have no idea how much that helps us with the algorithm. So, smash the like button. Share this video. Comment down below. I love your input. So if you can write a comment down below on something you may have heard, and I'll go back and listen to it. Thank you. Remember, join the Patreon. And remember, stay spooky.